Hey guys, Kenny here. Stay cool and relax to the movies. Bye.
Hey guys, Kenny here. I'm here with another episode of Cinema Bombs, and this time my review is on the 1994 movie Street Fighter. And it basically has to do with Colonel Guile, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he takes his group of army people over to stop Bison from basically doing killing. And along the way they get some help from I think I really don't remember most of the characters' names. Like there's E Honda, Balrog, and some Asian woman with them, and they got Ken and Ryu. Okay, and Ryu and Ken pretend to be working for one really bad guy. Not bad because he's bad. He's just not a good bad guy at all. I think his name is. Yeah, I really don't remember what his name is, but it's a very simple story. And also Guile and his group of army people go over to stop, along with stopping Bison. Guile also has to free a friend of his, Charlie, and there's this doctor, I think is well, I can't remember what his character name is either, but in the he's a doctor, and he's showing Charlie these violent images, and there's these chemicals and poison chemicals being put into him, and that changes his hair red and his body green. So Guile has to go and try and free him, along with trying to stop Bison. And that's basically the story. I don't think it's any more simpler than that. And so Street Fighter is nothing like the video game. I played Street Fighter 2, which is what the movie of Street Fighter is based on, Street Fighter 2. I played that constantly in 1994 when I didn't know there was going to be a Street Fighter movie. And at the time I really didn't mind it, the movie, because at first I thought it was pretty good. The fighting was pretty much like in the video game. But as the years went by, I kept having memories of Street Fighter in my head, and I realized how horribly bad Street Fighter the movie is. It's nothing like the video game, because Street Fighter, in a way similar to Mortal Kombat, it's a tournament game, Street Fighter 2, and the movie of Street Fighter was nothing like a tournament. It had nothing to do with a tournament. It all had to do with Bison wanting to be the most powerful villain in the world. That's basically it. There was not much fighting. I mean, there was fighting, but it wasn't the fighting from the game at all. the characters were nothing like how they are in the video game Street Fighter 2. Like, the guy who plays the doctor, and I can't remember his name, but in the video game, he's this tall, very tall character, and any time he punches, most of the time his arm's stretched out. So he was a very tall, lanky character, but very tough to, sometimes very tough to beat, because I think he also blew fire out of his mouth. Yeah. E Honda, he wasn't too different from his character in the movie like he is in the game, except in the movie he was a good guy, and he was working with him and Balrog were these TV production guys, and in the game I think they hate each other, but E Honda looked almost kind of identical to the one in the game, but overall as the character itself, it was nothing like he is in the video game. And Balrog, I don't remember him ever doing any boxing in the movie, because in the video game he's a boxer, and I think he's in Las Vegas. And Vega, kind of similar to how he is in the video game. He's probably the only one who's most like his character in the video game. That's probably the only one I can think of that's almost very similar to the one in the video game. Except in the video game, I think it was Vega could crawl up, because in his in the part of the game where he appears, there's this gate behind the two characters that when they fight, and he crawls up that gate wall, and then he can attack the other character that way. He didn't do that in the movie, but he looked very good. He was probably the only really good looking character in this movie, because the blades on his hands were very much like in the video game. So I think he was the only one who was really like the character in the game. Other than that, Balrog does do boxing. Okay, come to think of it, but he's a good guy. And I think in the video game he's not a good guy. And Bison, he's nothing like his character in the video game, really. Because this Bison kept wanting to try and take over the world, be the most powerful person in the world. We rarely ever got to see him fight until the very end with Guile. And may Raul Julia rest in peace, but that was a very bad character for him, a very bad character and film for him to end his career and his life for. But he's most known for saying enough over and over. Oh no, not enough, of course. But nothing like his character in the video game. In the video game he's gruff and tough. He may look like he's dressed very nice, but he's one tough man. Oh, kind of buff, pretty buff, and he was a very hard-nosed fighter. He did this move where he kind of went forward and his legs went forward, and he kicked the other person in front of him, and he did this turning thing in the air where he was this blue flame and it was that way. Jean-Claude Van Damme, obviously the main character and actor in the movie. There's more problems with him than out of every other character and actor in this movie. Guile is American, but in the video game, but in the movie, because of Jean-Claude Van Damme, he's what is he? Austrian, I think. I think Van Damme is Austrian. Or Muscles from Brussels. He may not be Austrian, I can't remember. But he didn't behave like Guile, and his haircut obviously was short. When Guile in the video game, he had this long, spiked up blonde hair. And he was also a very tough character. And stood for America, but I don't think he was a character who really liked having people work with him, like the guy in the movie, having his own army, and his fighting not bad, but he never did that move where it was like Guile put his arms together, and then he made these. Once he did that, it was like these two half discs form, and then they form together to form one disc, and then it goes to the other character in the game. The only move that he really did that was like the Guile in the video game was his air kick. He stood, then he went up, kicked the person in front of him, and then landed. That was the only move that he did that was really like the move in the video game. But Street Fighter hits, there's no big similarities between the movie and the video game. It's just bad all the way through. Bad dialogue, bad scenes, terrible action, even worse, special effects and visual effects, especially when in this moment where Bison is doing this like a video game, and I think it was meant to be that, where he's trying to blow up this little armored boat that a guy and two other army people are with him in, and Bison is blowing up these little water mines, trying to blow up that little boat, armored boat. But I think he targets it, and then he presses a button, and then that blows up the mine. But it's awful. No wonder it bombed, and it's PG-13. If it were R, it probably wouldn't have been any better. Click subscribe up here on my channel, or down here if you're watching the video by itself. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. So, I think that's all I have to say. So, stay scared and have a horrific time at the movies. Bye.